How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a review. I At this point, I just figured I might as well call them reviews since that's what I'm doing. Reaper brought up a good point that I'm literally giving them a score, so I've been doing this for so many months now, but I still couldn't decide one. But yeah, they're reviews. At this point, they're literally just reviews, or reviews and my opinions on this subject. But anyways, today I'm gonna be talking about Fate Granddaughter, Lost Belt number 3. Synchronize, send something, I don't know, just lost about 3. And I apologize if my voice is a little lower than usual. It's really late when I'm recording this since I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. So, pre-recording this the day before and gonna upload it and all that. So no, there shouldn't be a gap between videos. But yeah, so to just be forewarned of that, my voice may be a little bit lower than usual. But, Lost Boat number 3. I just finished it today, as in like, well, I'm not gonna say the date, but for me, I finished it in the same day that I'm recording this, and I wanted to talk about it. So, hope you all sit back, relax, and just let me know what you think about my opinion or how you feel about this one. But yeah, so Lost Boat 3, right? I think I started Lost Boat 3 like around the beginning of June, and now it's almost the end of June. I think tomorrow's the 30th. Even though I said I wasn't gonna say the date, but whatever. Oh no, no, no. Tomorrow's the 29th. There you go. So I've been on this one for a little bit. Not as much as I was on Lost Ball 2, because Lost Ball 2 I was under for a grip. Like, oh my goodness. Lost Ball 2 I just didn't progress on it for a while. And I think it was because I was reading Vagabond at the time and I was watching Bleach, One Piece, a bunch of other stuff, just other things at the time. I finished that, and now Lost Belt 3, I finished it in like 3 weeks to a month, I think, around there. I could have finished it faster, but at least I finished it. So this one of my friends told me, Lost Belt 2 compared to this one, Lost Belt 3 is way better. Like he has high opinion of it, is what I'm trying to say. So I went into this like, all right, let's see what this one has to show. I thought Lost Belt 2 was all right. Like I don't remember what I gave it as a score on my last video, but I do remember placing it like decently good, like around a 6 or a 7 around there. It wasn't as good as Russia for me, but it was all right. So Lost Belt 3, if it's better than that, then maybe it's better than Russia, maybe it isn't. So going into that, I was like, all right, let's see how it is. And after finishing it, I can say that to me, Lost World 3 or China, I guess, isn't better than Russia for me. To me, Russia's still at the top. But Lost World 3, it's difficult for me to say, right? When I finished it, I was so perplexed just thinking about how I would rank these three Lost Belts that I played so far. I don't know if I would put China above Scandinavia or not. It was difficult because when I was playing through it, some things were better and some things just weren't better to me. I wouldn't say worse, but on a equal thing, like on a line, China didn't dip below the line, but it didn't like ultimately surpass it too much. It 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 surpassed it a little bit, but not wholeheartedly like for me Russia did. But let me explain. So China, right? It starts off you're in this Chinese lost belt. You have all this stuff going on with Sion and the Atlas Institute, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. And you're learning about all this stuff, how these lost belts are working, about Captain, again about Sion, and you're learning all this. You're getting a bunch of info dumps, right? And I thought that was cool. It was some pretty cool world building. I know for certain that the world building in the Lost Worlds is amazing, way better than the singularities. There you go. But once we get into the Lost Belt, oh, excuse me. We're going in here because um our insert and what was his dude's name? I completely forgot. Gordolf, there you go. Got poisoned, and so now we're looking for the cure, and for Konyaskanya because she has the cure, and along with taking down the tree of emptiness for this lost belt. And We get in here, things start a little slow. There's no one thing that's cool about this one is that there's no Throne of Heroes in this one, and we learn why later. So it's a pretty cool reason, but things start slow. We're just exploring, learning what's going on with this Lost Belt. We soon come to find out this Lost Belt has no war, and it's China, but it's a united China, a China that united the entire world. And the leader, King Shi Huang, is just like a giant meatball in the sky, and oh, they, excuse me, are the only source of communication for anybody, any of these people. And the people outside of his palace are are farmers. They just farm, they live, they wake up, they do whatever. And we're just getting all this building for it, right? So I don't remember what it was or who it was, but so at some point or another, we get a Throne of Heroes. They find the ley lines for China or whatever. And the reason why there aren't any Throne of Heroes is because these people in China have nobody to look up to as a hero. There's nobody who like is here to help progress China. And the reason for that is because King Shi Huang banned Confucianism, which is, well, not like Confucianism or Confucianism as in like the real word Confucianism, but like more like in a sense like creativity and progress. It's been banned because it incites different ideas, and if you bring different ideas, then the whole state that they have right now, the whole city, will collapse. Because the only reason that they have peace is because no creativity is basically allowed, or if it is allowed, it's controlled and heavily restricted in the city. So basically, they have a peaceful city, but it's stagnant. There's no progress. So that's why technology like the shadow border and let's say a cell phone is foreign to King Shu Huang because they don't have that technology. They have really advanced magecraft and like sage arts or whatever, but they don't have advanced technology. Oh, here. But that's established, and we're basically just going around rebelling against Qin Shi Huang because even though they aren't aggressive towards Chaldea at first, once they find out that they're spreading Confucianist ideas, King Shi Huang immediately starts going crazy, and he sends a meteor at a at one of our group at some point. So that was pretty cool. But long story short, um, Konya basically gets betrayed by King Shi Huang because she's the or something. I don't even remember. I think the nine-tailed fox or something. I don't remember, but um, basically she gets captured and tortured. Then she gets brought onto the shadow border later on because we go rescue her and Holmes and Da Vinci because the shadow border gets taken and because we let the emperor examine it because of a deal or whatever. The cryptor, Akuta Hinako, she's interesting. Definitely one of the most interesting cryptors, but I'll talk about her later. And at the end of it, well, actually, no, I can't really talk about the end of it. All right, so let me talk about uh King Shi Huang. King Shi Huang is the king of the Lost Belt. They're basically a bunch of emperors of China put into one person, and they're the ultimate human, basically. The only reason like things are so peaceful here is because like King Shi Huang values humanity and what they can do, but not in like the terms of progress, but like in keeping them safe and stopping war. So if you can look at it in a certain way, it's kind of like Patsy in Russia, or I forgot her name in Scandinavia, but how some of them were treated as cattle and herded, or others just weren't really living as humans. These people are living as humans, like it's humanity, but they don't really have any things that make humans humans. Like they didn't know about poetry or creative thinking. All they know is the great heavenly and majestic emperor or whatever. I think that was their name. That's all they know is just waking up, farming, and their emperor. So there's nothing to them. There's no progress, and that stunted them completely. Even though they're safe, it stunted them. It's like, you're safe in your home, but if you never go out, you'll never grow as a person. That's basically what it is. And yeah, Hinako Akuta, the cryptor. She's pretty cool. She's kind of a hermit, but there's a reason for why she's a hermit that we learn later on. You have Zhang Yu, who is a robot, but there's a reason why he's important. You have a bunch of other people, and long story short, he Akuta here, our cryptor defects because she gets sent on one final mission from King Shi Huang. Oh, jeez, I forgot. I got a request to like not go around the same area of the world, so I gotta start realizing that. But she defects, and it's revealed that she's actually not a person. She's a servant, or not a servant, but a person from history, a Yu Mei Ren. And the reason she's here is because of Zhang Yu, and the fact that the Zhang Yu in her history, in proper human history, was he basically was hated and feared because of what he was doing for his ruler, and she just wanted to live here a peaceful life with him in this lost boat. And she doesn't care what happens to humanity. She's literally just gonna live a peaceful life with him, and that's all she asked of the King Shi Huang. They delivered that request, and now the cryptor is not really a part of this anymore. So now it's just Chaldea versus China, and while that's going on, Chaldea summons a bunch of servants like Mordred, Jinkei, yeah, I think Jinbei or something. I don't remember. Um, Spartacus and Naja. Spartacus was the one that deflected the meteor that I mentioned earlier, and he well actually he took the meteor and he dissipated it, and that's a really important moment for him. It was a pretty cool moment for him, kind of redeemed him from Apocrypha, but potato potato. But yeah, basically, when we get the Shadow Border back and Konyaskanya, we get the poison thing, whatever. We invade the city. We fight one of the rule or one of the oh my goodness, the emperor's people. We beat her up. Then we go fight one of the other emperor's people. We beat them up, even though oh my gosh, that boss fight. I gotta talk about that later. But yeah, after that, we go to the emperor. Yume Ren and Zhang Yu are there. We fight them. Then we go to the emperor. Like I said, we fight the emperor. Then we fight Zhang Yu. He dies. Then Yume Ren fuses with the Tree of Emptiness. The Tree of Emptiness dies. And then King Shi Huang is just like, yo, you guys are pretty cool. You showed me your tenacity between our fight. And the reason why he's saying that is because basically the King Shi Huang gave up his human form or gave up his metal form for a little bit, the meatball one, because he got hacked by Jinkei, and basically she literally just put a virus on the phone. She had Da Vinci make a phone, a mobile phone, put a virus in it, gave it to the Emperor, which is really smart. I thought that was super cool, and just yeah, just let it hack him. It didn't work completely, but it definitely worked. And oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired from today. But yeah, so it didn't work, but it basically made it so he had a body now. He had a body that he made, and he used it to fight us. And this battle was basically to prove like, yo, whose humanity is better, yours or mine's? And once we beat him, he realizes, well, if your humanity is better, if your tenacity is there, then I mean, I'll support you. I'll help you out. Just make sure that you can carry the weight of the world. And once we beat the Tree of Emptiness, he's like, yeah, you don't have to feel sorry for us. We they don't even know what is happening. So to them, it's just like they're falling asleep. So don't even worry about it. I know you guys will, but they don't know what's going on. So it's just another day for them. And which was really melancholy. Like really, really melancholy. But also kind of beautiful in a way. It's like that for once that actually benefited them and was to their own it benefited them. And I thought it was really interesting, honestly. I thought it was cool. But yeah, that was the end of it. And now we're gonna go to Scandinavia, or not Scandinavia, India, for the fourth Lost Belt, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, so let me talk about the stuff, right? So the battles were alright for the most part, except for when we got to like the end of the story section. Like, man, oh my god, some of these battles were cheesy. Holy, like some of them were just the CPU were legit just cheating at some points, and it was disgusting. Some of them I couldn't do anything about, and I had to use the sync courts. Other times I got cheesed because they were just like, hey, remember MP gain? Yeah, I'm gonna just give myself my MP. Why? I don't know, I just want to do it. And then it killed me immediately. It's like, oh wow, I didn't have time to prepare. That's funny. I was just supposed to predict what a CPU would do. Me, a human. So that was kind of cheeky, but overall, like sometimes the CPU will legit just cheat, and other times I would just get caught off guard by a CPU, and that the second part was mostly it. Like it was 70% me being caught off guard or unprepared, 30% the CPU cheating. Because I just don't have that many servants to where I can contend with them or some of the classes that they have. Because I don't have somebody that can contend with a ruler. I just don't. I don't remember if it's an Avenger or not. Or I don't remember. But I didn't know that it was gonna be a ruler. The only way I would know is if I spoiled myself that like, yeah, this is what the boss fight is gonna be, and that's no fun. Obviously I could leave the battle, but I'm just trying to get these done. Like I'm not here for the gameplay. However I do it is however I do it. But I used a lot of sync quartz in that. Like in China was probably where I used the most sync quartz. Besides like the singularities, like maybe Camelot or something. But I used a lot of sync quartz in China, probably like 10, 12, 15 maybe. But not maybe not 15, but like 8 to 10 around there. It was difficult. It was definitely difficult. If I can recommend anything, just be prepared. Take those symbols at the top that show the classes very seriously, because they can be difficult. Even with an alter ego fighting some of these people, it was annoying. Like some of these final bosses are just stupid. But music. There's no music to talk about. I don't listen to music in the game. I just have it turned off. Um, Story. Well, actually, I guess the length of the story first. The length of the story wasn't bad at all. It wasn't as long as some of the other ones. Like Russia was longer, I think. So that's good. But it wasn't sacrificed as well. Like it didn't sacrifice the story beats, from what I can remember. But story itself, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. It's not like I didn't. But it's the difficult thing about it, right? Because when I was going through China, I just felt indifferent for some of the parts. Like with Spartacus, when his scene happened, like it's cool, but I don't really like it as much as some of the other scenes, like Napoleon's scene in Lostbelt 2 or Musashi in Lostbelt 1. Like it was sick, and the idea of it is sick, and the fact that it's a meteor versus a person, like knowing me, I would have loved something like that because of like in One Piece with a Law versus Fujitora, like with meteors like that would have been so sick. But it just didn't click with me for some reason. It didn't mesh with me well. I didn't really care for it. The beginning was cool because of all the lore that was coming in, but then at a certain point, I was just kind of sitting there indifferent, like, all right, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. And the Yume Ren reveal, uh, I already knew about it because of an event, because of Camelot, or not Camelot, Las Vegas. So I was just like, oh, okay, I guess that's cool. So I already got spoiled on it. It wasn't too surprising. And Zhang Yu and their relationship, it's cool. I think it's better than Siegfried and Brynhild because I mean, they didn't have to be on the enemy side for it to be better. It could have been on either side, but um, the way that they did it, because they were on the enemy side, or at least like indifferent towards humanity, was pretty cool. And the fact that we saw more of them in their relationship was also pretty cool, because I felt it was way more important than what it was in Scandinavia. So I definitely enjoyed that. But like Yume Ren and Akuta, uh, eh, I thought she was alright. Her as a servant, or not as a servant, as a Yume Ren was pretty cool though. Like because we just got to see so much emotion from her, which we weren't used to. So I thought that was sick. But you know, moving on, King Shi Huang was pretty cool. Probably my favorite Lost Belt Emperor so far. Ivan the Terrible was just a ball full of rage, and Scotty is just a personal favorite, but not the best one. King Shi Huang was really good. I liked them, or I liked them. They were, obviously they were prideful, but at the same time, it was humanity. Like, they 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 lived to help humanity, not progress humanity, but to keep it safe, to keep it from progressing, so they can keep their civilization going, where everybody's happy, but not like oh my god, Phew, I'm so sorry. They're not progressing. As people, they're not progressing or developing ideas or making creative things. And that's what separates proper human history from them. Even though they have war, you know, people progress and they come together for when the future, is in us on the table. But yeah, King Shi Huang, pretty good. The servants in general, Mordred was good. Naja was good. Jinkei was good. Spartacus was alright, nothing crazy. Cheng Gong, I thought was okay. Red hair, I thought was funny sometimes. At first, I didn't really like him, and I remember because I used to see ads of him all the time. I thought he just looked so stupid, but I gotta give him his credit. He's pretty funny. But Konya Skanya, the fact that she has different outfits every time is really interesting to me. I I just wonder if she's gonna have all those outfits when she releases as a servant, because I know she's gonna be releasing since she's in Japan, but I wonder if she's gonna have all those outfits. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, servants aside, the people, the NPCs weren't as important in this one compared to the Lost Ball 1 and Lost Ball 2. They were just more like a mask than they were a focused character. There was a little kid who was there, but he definitely didn't have a spotlight compared to like the first two. Or, well, yeah, compared to Patsy and the girl. So, it was alright. I didn't mind it. The fact that they were there was cool, but they weren't too present, especially since I thought they were alright. So I didn't dislike them after a certain point. I thought they were cool. But, yeah, like in general, Lost Belt 3, I just felt it was better than Lost Belt 2, but I just don't know by how much. Like I enjoyed Lost Belt 3 to some extent, but not greatly. Like I know Russia is still my favorite for sure, and Scandinavia had its good parts, but Lost Belt 3 for me just felt weird. I left it like, oh, this moment was really cool, or this was really cool, or alright, this was okay, but it's not bad by any stretch of the word, or stretch of the imagination. I feel like it's a 7. Well, actually, okay. Lost Bolt 5 at its worst is a 5. Or excuse me, Lost Bolt 3 at its worst is a 3. Yo, oh my goodness, sorry. Lost Bolt 3 at its worst is a 5. Lost Bolt 3 at its best is a 7. I feel like the good or the good parts of it are good and the bad parts of it are just indifferent for me. Like again, this is my opinion. I don't take it with a grain of salt, make your own. But for me, when the bad parts were there, I was just indifferent. I was really indifferent. When the good parts were there, I was like, oh, this is cool. It's not the best I've seen, but it's pretty cool. And Lost Ball 3 is just like, for me, it's hard to say. Like legit, it's just hard to say how I feel about it. I'm gonna give it a 7, like if I had to review it. But I don't feel incomplete. I just feel really perplexed on how I should give it a rating. I like it, but I'm also indifferent towards it. I wanted to stay there because without Lost Belt 3, this wouldn't have been able to happen. Like, it had a lot of important plot points, like with the poison, with the Sion and the Atlas Institute, with Konya Skanya, with Akuta, or Yume Ren, excuse me. Like, this stuff was all important because we learned more about Marsberry, or Marisberry, and just a bunch of other stuff. Like, it was super important. But just like, me enjoying it, I just felt like it was alright. Nothing crazy, nothing bad. And that may have been marred a little bit by my experiences with the boss fights at the end, but not completely. I can look past the boss fights and the story and notice like, yeah, there's a good story here. I think it's just me right now that's like struggling to decide what I should rate it as. There's like Lost Bolt 3 story is really good. Really, really good. But not but for me at the same time, I'm also comparing it to Lost Boat 1, which I really liked, and Lost Boat 2, which I thought was okay, but had some really good moments, some really good character moments, and just story moments in general. So Lost Boat 3, like on the tier list, right? So for me, Russia is an A. For B, like just B normal, it would be China, and then B minus would be like Scandinavia or something. And it might change going on when more Lost Boats get introduced, but right now, China would be like a B to low B plus around there, but nothing higher. It's staying in B tier. Scandinavia would be like a low B to a high C around there. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about China, Lost World 3, Sin. And hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching as always. Let me know how you feel about this Lost Boat and the past lobster or Lost Boats. Uh I'm gonna be starting Lost Boat 4 as fast as I can so I can try to catch up. Not because of the anniversary, but just because I need to finish these story events because I'm trying to read Berserk. Like ever since my friend showed me it, I've just been trying to read it so I can finally finish it, and so people can stop commenting it by my comment section. I know once that happens, though, once I start reading it, they're just gonna change the manga. It's just probably gonna be like Chainsaw Man or Vinland Saga or something, or Record of Ragnarok. But that's for future me to deal with. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. You know, I always appreciate it. And if not, then all power to you. I'm not gonna judge you for it or shame you for it. It's all up to you. I'm really excited for Lost Boat 4. Like I said, I'm super excited. Karna and Arjuna. I know my friend hates them a lot, or at least like dislikes them because of the dupes. But for me, I really like Karna because of Apocrypha, and Arjuna. The fact that he's his rival is really cool. So just by extension, I kind of like them. So I'm excited to see how it goes with Lost Boat 4. I can't wait. And I remember I was playing at the time when Lost Boat 4 came out, so I just can't wait to see how it goes. But yeah, this is gonna be it for me for now. I'll check y'all out. Y'all have a great rest of your day for when this is uploaded. And yeah, it's been Infamous Isaac. Peace.